Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your Sagittarius season reading. We are going to be following the transits for the season through Becoming Spiritually Rich on Instagram. So be sure to go and follow Becoming Spiritually Rich on Instagram to see a full list of the transits, but also to keep up with the Astro News. Welcome to Sagittarius season, Virgo. It is mutable season, which means you're comfortable. You're very comfortable. From November 21st to December 21st, the sun is in Sagittarius, activating your 4th house. You are home and cozy and very motherly. I love this energy for you. You know, you deserve this sweet, easy, purposeful vibe, and you have it for the next month. You know, you deserve this healing, you know, of that mother wound by either doing some healing between you and a mother figure or mother figures in your life, or just connecting with, you know, all of the most important people in your life from this very nurturing space and receiving the nurturing energy from them. It's beautiful. You are still adjusting to Pluto shifting out of Capricorn and into Aquarius as of November 19th for the next 20 years. This is a new world. Nothing was the same. Everything is new and logical, information based, and you're adjusting to that. You know, your earthly navigation system is being reworked. It's not that the value of it has gone down, it's actually gone up, but things just aren't as fun as they used to feel. It used to be easy to tap into that fun energy, but you know what it is? You've just grown up. You know, fun doesn't mean the same thing that it once did, and that can feel like you've lost something, the 4 of Cups, you know, but maybe that's just a result of, you know, getting older, right? And evolving. I think so. You know, I think instead of mourning or, you know, craving a past where being this kind of more playful, free-spirited version of you just doesn't really fit anymore into your life. Instead of mourning, see this as a time to create a new sense of fun and enjoyment, a new path to abundance and, you know, stability. The Ace of Pentacles, you have a new life in front of you and you love to build on what you have. And so this is just a time where you actually can look at the 4 of Cups, the things that really just don't resonate with you anymore, especially emotionally, especially in a, you know, a fun sense. It's super easy to see, oh wow, this just isn't cute or fun anymore. As you come to those realizations, you also see the opportunity to build a new life of enjoyment. And it's a lot more simplistic than you originally crafted. It even takes a lot less energy than you thought, you know, it would take to get to this place or to sustain this, you know, level of success, level of abundance. So take time to adjust. You know, Pluto just moved into Aquarius. Like, you need time to mentally adjust to what has just come to life, the new version of your life that you're now experiencing. It is very different, and everyone's adjusting, so also don't feel alone in that. But you know, the Ace of Pentacles is the first card out. Like, it's time to build more of an abundant material experience. You know, you love that, and you have the green light to do it, and you also have, for the most part, the energy to do it. Mars is still in Leo, and it is going to go retrograde in Leo in just a few days on December 6th. So there, you know, there is some exhaustion there, and this, you know, kind of like, you may not feel completely ready, you may not feel completely energized. Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten these all out. You may not feel completely energized, but there is energy there. There's definitely energy there. So start to tap into it. Start to tap into it. Okay, so for the next month, you are leaning into your family, you're receiving the love of your connections, you're pouring out love within your connections, and within your work, you are navigating it from this, you know, very purposeful but loving place. Like, you know that this is, you know, the role that you want to play, that you need to play, and it feels very easy to play that role when you let yourself. Especially if this is dealing with a product, right? Like, you have a product, and it's like you felt bad for offering that product. And now you can see the love in it completely. The love that you have for it, the love that it can bring to other people. And then through that becomes really easy for you to also see it as the product that it is and build on it, you know, put it out into the world, you know, bring it to people, bring it to the world. You know, you were struggling to feel the connection, and it's because there was an energy that you had to navigate that was very logical. It's like, this is what you're supposed to do, this is how you're supposed to do it, but there was a block because of that logical energy. Now that you feel the love and you feel, pups are here scratching. Now that you feel the love, it's like, it's super easy to talk about it, to share it with other people. And the more you lean into that connection aspect and component of it, the bigger it becomes, the easier it is to promote it. And, you know, yeah, you know, the Fool and the Four of Wands, like, this is something to be celebrated. It's not something to feel bad about. It's not something to isolate about, you know, and don't let anybody make you feel isolated about what you're building. This is not for everybody, and it is not for anybody to push along necessarily. It's for you now. So, Sun in Sagittarius for the next month, starting as of yesterday, November 25th, Mercury did go retrograde in Sagittarius. November 25th through December 15th, Mercury will be retrograde in your 4th house of home and family. You, within your home environment, within your family environment, you guys are miscommunicating, you're misunderstanding each other, you're on the same page and then not on the same page. Like, there is so much abundance and goodness and good times, like that, the Fool and the Four of Wands. Like, you know, I think when you start a new chapter within your home life, you know, there's like this expectation that everything's just gonna go perfect, right? But this 4th house energy is like, you've got to roll with life, you've got to roll with the punches, roll with the loving moments, roll with the bumpy moments, and you've got to know how to nurture yourself through it and nurture each other through it and come back, you know, on the other side of it. And that's just what life is going to be from now until the end of time. Like, this 4th house Cancer energy is just like, no, you gotta keep rolling with it, right? Like, the emotional hurdles are gonna come constantly, and you know, you move through it. And so Mercury retrograde in your 4th house is absolutely teaching you that, you know, it's absolutely teaching you that you can have these very abundant moments, and that this is a fresh start within your family life. And it is the Four of Wands. It's so positive. You know, this isn't, you're not making an unconscious choice to commit to someone or to commit to a life together. This is a conscious choice. It feels right. And in that, the Eight of Swords, you also will have moments where you misunderstand each other. You're not one person, you know, especially if this is a family group, right? It's not just, you know, you and another person. It could be multiple people involved. It could be children involved. It could be other family members involved. Like, you know, you also have to tie in your work dynamics, and there's just a lot that comes with being a family and being connected. So don't expect this perfection. Understand that the Eight of Swords moments will happen. And the best thing that you can do is very hard right now during Mercury retrograde, but the best thing that you can do is understand that you're on a journey of life together. And when these Eight of Swords moments happen where you feel triggered by what someone says, or they feel triggered by what you say, try to communicate it in a way that is about getting back to this place, right? So that doesn't mean not acknowledging what happened and how it made you feel, but it's all about how you acknowledge those things. So if you acknowledge it in a way that you feel like you've been attacked, or, you know, you were coming all across to them as, you know, you were attacking them, and you're not really acknowledging your role in it, or they're not acknowledging their role, whatever it is, you guys are attacking each other. That's the energy that's going to, you know, pollute this home environment, and it sours. So if you can understand that these moments of Mercury, this is like the Mercury retrograde card right here. If you could understand that these moments are going to happen where you almost feel like you're being blindfolded from some sense of information, or the way that somebody said something is just like, whoa, like, am I trapped in something here that I didn't know? You're not trapped. Everyone's, you know, doing the Sagittarian thing where they're just saying the first thing that comes to their mind and not really thinking about how that's going to make people feel. That's what's happening right now. Give people grace, give yourself grace, and lean into the fact that this is your home, and you can at any time bring yourselves back to this sense of togetherness and this sweetness. But these Mercury retrograde moments, it's only just kicking off. So don't be reactive. Try not to be triggered. Try not to isolate. Try not to think anybody's out to get you. These people, this person, you know, is here for the family. And so are you. But it's also okay to need to practice, right? A Mercury retrograde is a review. It's time to practice how to best navigate these familial moments. On December 6th, Mars goes retrograde in Leo, in your 12th house. You have everything. Mars is in Leo. You have everything. You are just a worker bee who wants to feel like you're working towards something, and it needs to be perfect. And right now it may not be perfect, and you may not be working at it at the level that you typically do like to feel like it's really going, you know, but you have everything. You have everything that you've been working to build. And the Hangman is your 12th house. You know, things feel like they're on hold. They're not moving in the way that you want it to move, but that doesn't mean that it's not moving. The Hangman is, you know, a pause to see some things that maybe you need to be aware of before things start to move at a very quick pace. You know, the Ten of Cups and the Two of Wands is a moment to soak in the emotional aspect of what's going on, so that you can almost, you know, encapsulate that energy and take it with you wherever you go. So when things speed up, you have almost like a baseline for how this should feel as it gets bigger, as it goes faster. what is the baseline, emotional fulfillment that I should be seeking from this thing. So this really does feel like a work setting, but it also is a relational setting. Like I don't take for granted how mystical things feel right now. Things are very mystical for you, Virgo, right now. It's very dreamy. It's like you're living in a dream. Your dreams have, come to fruition. And like I said, it's not in this earthy way that you're used to. It's really in a very emotional way right now. And that might be overwhelming to you. And I totally get it. But it's so good and it's so right. And it feels like an opportunity for you to take time to expand into the blessings of the moment and to, give yourself that time to be happy with what you've attained, right? Because you can be in such a dense energy of kind of bad fortune, right? Like that's the 6th house. That's a Virgo energy. Let's just talk about it. It's the health issues. It's the, being a servant in your work, having to be the helpful one, having to do the grunt work, right? Like that's the Virgo energy, right? Like you can take Beyonce and she's one of the best performers of this time, but like she's had to do an insane amount of work, right? And it's like, obviously it's by choice, but like that's just the path of Virgo. It comes together perfectly and it looks amazing and people do see that side of it, but the amount of investment of time and energy that you have to put in things, but also the health challenges that you have to deal with on a regular basis, like sometimes it just feels like it will be a constant struggle and always heavy and dense for you, Virgo. And that is part of your path to learn how to navigate that. And so to have a moment with Mars and Leo where the energy is just like, take a break, have a little fun. What if you didn't work so hard? What if you didn't feel like you had to work so hard? What if instead of, it being about working as hard as possible, it's actually about, having as much of a good time as possible and enjoying the connections in your life as much as possible? What if it was about that? What if you learn how to invest more energy there so that as you get back into this grind mode, you're a little bit, less hard on yourself. You're a little bit less critical of, the build, and you're a little bit less critical of the people in your life. Like you've created this new standard. I love it. I think it's very necessary. I think, Pluto in Aquarius, now opposite Mars in Leo, for you, it's kind of cornering you. It's very much so cornering you, because it's like you want to get away, you want to get to the grind, you want to go to this place, you want to shift to this place, but really what you're trying to get to is actually very much so internal. It's much more, everything is much closer to you than you actually feel. So you're learning how to not create distance between you and these opportunities. You're learning how to dive deep into these opportunities and to actually let yourself feel the goodness of them. And that is multiplying. So every time you feel stuck, you're not stuck. There are just aspects of this abundance. This is abundance. So Mars and Leo, to be stuck, having Mars and Leo, it's not an easy 12th house. Having Leo be your 12th house, it's not an easy 12th house to have, but if it's a 12th house to have, that's a pretty good one to have, because Leo's about fun. Leo's about making things feel good and nice, and and it not being about perfection. And so that does challenge you a lot. It does say, every time you feel like things are off, it's because you're doing the Virgo thing of expecting this perfect, delivery of things, when really it's really about the energy of it. And that may not be your strong suit unless you've perfectly crafted it, right? So learning how to naturally connect to the good energy of things and to live in the good energy of things, of what you're creating, of what, you know, your work, your home life, your romantic life, like that's an adjustment for you. To know you're deserving of that consistently and to, you know, expect that energy, not in some perfect way, but in, again, an energetic, loving way. That's reinvention for you right now. So I love it. And so take your time, don't rush. You know, I believe Mars will be in Leo, you know, till February sometime. So, you know, this is a period for you of adjusting to a sense of abundance that may not come naturally to you, or one that you may not even think is thought that was something that you would experience. You will get back into that work mode and zone, but right now it's time to love. All right, let's talk about Venus in Aquarius as of December 7th. So Venus in Aquarius is you getting ready for some real change, okay? There are parts of your world and your work that have just been too much physically on you. And when Venus enters Aquarius on December 7th, you feel that energy very intensely. It feels like criticism. It feels like people are wanting more from you than you really have to deliver. And that is, you know, a lot of the initiation into that Aquarian energy. As you start to feel this pressure coming down on you from relationships, from your work setting, you have a choice to make. You can choose to accept the harsh energy of your environment and say that, oh, this is just how things are right now. You know, this is just how things are going to be. Like, this is just what it is. And, you know, I'm used to this. And right now things are just hard, right? But on the same day that Venus moves into Aquarius, Neptune will go direct in Pisces. On December 7th, Neptune goes direct in your house of relationships, the card of relationships. I think that instead of letting the world around you put a new level of pressure on you, a new level and amount of work on you, I think that it is a time where you can actually say, you know what, no. This is what I expect. This is what I desire. This is the right thing. This is no longer right. I've assessed this, I've thought about this, and you know what, yes, I could just accept this and go with the flow and, you know, keep it moving, and it would keep moving as things do with me. They never stop. But this is an interesting Venus and Aquarius transit. Instead of you feeling disempowered by Venus in your 6th house, bringing this very critical eye to you, especially in work and in love, what you're actually going to do is you're going to say, actually, I'm the one being criticized, but I actually have a lot of criticisms about how this is going. And you're going to do it in a way that shows people that you're actually keyed into much more than they think you are. But not in a way to try to destruct. I think it's just time for things to end. It has to. And so what this means in a work setting or a relational setting, it could mean that things are drastically changing. You are no longer fine with playing this role of servitude within your relationship or within your career. You desire to really be honored and to feel honor in your day-to-day work. Things should feel harmonious. You should be able to get the support that you need. So you're really calling these things out. You're really saying that, hey, it's not that I don't want to work hard. Hey, it's not that I don't want to be here for you and love you, but I feel like you're breadcrumbing me. I feel like you think that I'm just going to keep taking it. And you know what? I do keep taking it. So why would you think anything otherwise? Sora. But when Neptune goes direct in Pisces, you have a scary level of intuitive intel that where people try to put that energy on you, where they make you feel like you're not doing enough, you actually say, well, this is why I can't do enough, because you're treating me like this. So it's a great time to work towards dynamics within your work and your relationships that this Pisces energy, you deserve real care. You deserve to feel empowered by your environments, not, imposed upon. And Neptune fills you up with this emotional energy that's been a bit scattered. And it says, in a very honest and soft way, in a way that shows people, hey, I understand this is where we are right now, but, I can't work at this pace anymore. I understand you have these things that you desire from me, in a relationship, but if we're going to work through these things, it's got to be in a way that, it's got to be in a softer way. I need you to care more about my feelings. And some of you guys are already getting there, and it's beautiful. And some of you guys are, these moments are still coming, and you have to actually accept the fact that the love that you thought was forming may not be as healthy as you originally thought. You have to go back to the drawing board and reset these connections in a way that can actually last for a really long time. But first, you must acknowledge that there are components of this relational dynamic that you weren't expecting to surface in this way. You weren't expecting to see this person so clearly. You weren't expecting to see these opportunities so clearly and to fall so intensely out of love with them. But for a moment, you will and you must. Because your comfort isn't something that should be played with or should be, people will only treat you in a way if they think you will accept it. And when Neptune goes direct, you're no longer accepting it. You need things to move in a way that really feels good in your body, in your mind, and everyone around you needs to treat you as if they do truly know and understand and see your potential, because that's how you treat them. Love it. All right, let's talk about the full moon in Gemini on December 15th. This energy is already out here. This, money energy, 10th house energy. It's time to work. and really focus on the long-term potential of a work opportunity, of a relational opportunity. It's time to see the opportunity and not be afraid of it. It's time to take it. You know, all of the pieces, all of the elements have been trying to come together all year long for you to see that this is that thing that you need to pour your energy into. When you're working towards something and you pour into things, it's time to pour into it in that way. And to not be, you know, afraid to fully embody it. Same thing, yeah, you know, let the lack motivate you. It's very 10th house. Let the need for more financial abundance, let it motivate you. Let it keep you focused on the work. Let the situations where you see and you feel like you know, the people around you really need you or you need it, let that motivate you to work. Don't feel bad about that. You know, tap into that energy every day to get you up and moving and going. You are ready to stand in the light with what you've done. And this is a big, you know, time of closure and opportunity to release all of the things that really keep you from embracing what's yours or what you've built. The full moon in Gemini on December 15th is the complete embodiment of what you've built, but in a way that actually attracts really long-term wealth, which means do it right. Do it right. You know, what would it look like if this long-term wealth was coming in? How would it look? How would it work? Get in that mode, because that is what's coming in under the full moon. The payment for your services and the greater financial opportunity, because you know you're deserving and you know you're ready. That's what comes in under the full moon in Gemini. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. And yeah, you are going to have to work. Here you are. Work in a new way. Maybe, you know, you have to be more perfect, right? You know, this energy, you have to be more perfect, but at the same time, you have to be more, you know, authentic. And it's just like, you know, that recalibration, but that's your growth process. So go through it. Don't run from it, or, you know, these big opportunities do require a more aware version of you, a more meticulous version of you, and that you can handle. Mercury goes direct in Sagittarius, and you've got it. You've got the knowing. You understand that this is your purpose, and the path that you've been on has just been guiding you to this place. And this next month is deeply emotional. But as the sun enters Capricorn on December 21st, it's time to have fun and enjoy what you've built. You know, all of this up and down feeling, and just, oh my gosh, like the falling out of love, the falling back in love, like it's just a constant, like, 4th house thing with your job, with your lover. And when the sun enters Capricorn on December 21st, like, you are just glowing and you're having a great time, and everything actually just starts to feel super right, and you're ready to have a good time building and doing what you're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing. You know, everybody's coming back. You know, you may feel a little bit like protective of yourself to the point where like you've pushed so many situations away. But when the sun enters Capricorn, everybody comes back. That, you know, that connective energy, that, you know, people need you. They really need you in a way that feels right. It feels good. A great time Capricorn season will be. Good job. Love you, Virgo. I will see you then. We'll talk more about Capricorn season and this, you know, long-term building that needs to be done. In the meantime, you can schedule private and birth chart readings with me through the link in the description. The Sagittarius season playlist Flight is out now on Apple Music, and the link is in the description. And I will see you in Capricorn season. Bye, Virgo.